Welcome to the morning formation.
Warriors fall in. It's time for formation. Welcome back to another powerful episode of the Morning Formation podcast, where we dive into the mindset of grit, resilience, and take it further into survivability for those who thrive and survive on the mat. I'm your host, KP, and today we're taking it back to the roots of discipline, struggle, and brotherhood with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Joining me in the studio are two true warriors. I've got Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt himself, Mike Medina, right here. Say what's up.
Hello, hello. Thanks for having me back. Appreciate it.
And his beautiful, handsome cousin, Juno Lucero.
What's up, guys?
As always, it's great to have you guys on the show, man. Today we're getting into everything from Juno's journey into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, how it helped shape his life, to some of the most trending topics in the Jiu-Jitsu world right now. Whether you're a white belt, black belt, or somewhere in between, or you're just searching for your purpose, today's episode is definitely going to be for you. So, Juno, I just want to ask you, man, let's get started from the beginning. Where did you grow up? What kind of environment did you grow up in?
I grew up in Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, Albuquerque, New Mexico. Grew up there till I was about 14. I went to Sacramento with Mike. Then from there, I moved back to Rio Rancho for a little bit, for like 3 months. Then out to LA, went to San Diego, back to LA. Now I'm back in Rio Rancho, New Mexico.
So tell me, how did you first get into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, man? Was it something that Mike kind of brought you in on, or was it something you got in on your own?
That was Mike. He got me and my brother AJ into it. And then from there, just ran with it.
So Mike, what was it like convincing your family to jump into it?
That was fairly easy. The thing is, they were already doing a lot of stuff. They were doing BMX and a lot of new cool things. And I was at the time teaching jiu-jitsu and doing Muay Thai. And I said, hey, you guys got to try this out. And it started like every UFC fight or something. I would show them a technique, and it just grew. It just kept growing. So
and Juno, was your cousin, I guess not your cousin,
nephew,
uncle, nephew.
Yeah.
You're much older, more wiser uncle here. Like, has he been kind of someone that you've always kind of looked up to?
Yeah, for sure. He's always like telling me fight stories, like street fights that he's been in, all these things. Me and my brothers always looked up to him, especially in jiu-jitsu. He was beating my ass for years. Now I'm finally catching up, so that's nice.
Yeah, that sucks.
Oh, really? Mike, you're really humble, man. You don't talk about a whole lot of anything, and you pretend that you don't know how to do anything when it comes to fighting. But talk to me about those street fights he's talking about.
Oh, geez. Well, Albuquerque is a tough place to kind of grow up, so you kind of either have to handle, you're either a victim, right? Or you're going to be in there, like, just defending yourself. So yeah, I just kind of ran with a pretty good group. I had, like I said last time, I had boxed, and I had, just really didn't take anything from anybody, I wasn't one to really take a lot of shit.
So give me one specific time that you sticks out. Listen, I know you have one, because I can tell by the look on your face that you have one.
Yeah, too many.
I got a few. Fight story, I got a good one. So it was my friend AJ's girlfriend's birthday. So we had a little house party, and it was me, my friend Mitch, my friend Drew, a couple good buddies of mine. Had a great night. It was a big party. Everyone was vibing, having a good time. And night started winding down. And keep in mind, when I tell you this, me and all my friends were wearing like emo clothes. We had like tight jeans on, did not look like we knew how to protect ourselves, for sure. Night went down. My buddy knew he was with me and my buddy Mitch, who were kind of known around for protecting ourselves, if you will. My buddy Mitch was in the back telling a story to a group of girls about a street fight that he was in. And at the same time, I look over and my buddy Drew is getting in an altercation with these guys. There was about 4 of them. So I run back, open the door, get my buddy Mitch. We run out, and it was like a movie. My buddy looked at me and he saw my boy Mitch, and he just like punched the first dude. And then pandemonium broke out at that point. But on my end, I end up suplexing a guy onto a table, and like, it was just really bad. It was just really bad. Yeah, my buddies did work, but it was not easy that night.
Were you ever worried about, like, especially in Albuquerque, New Mexico, those rural areas, man, like, weapons are a thing. Like, were you ever worried about that coming out?
Yeah, it's always in the back of my mind, but at that moment, no, I was just, it was just like in the zone.
Yeah.
So I was just in the moment. So
yeah. What about you, Juno? I mean, have you been in any altercations where you're like having to deal with people and fighting, or have you been kind of a cleaner path?
Definitely a cleaner path than Mike for sure.
Yeah.
'Cause, like, I've done jiu-jitsu since I was like 8, did wrestling since I was like 5 or 6. So everyone I went to school with always knew I did some type of martial art. So no one really wanted to mess with me. So, but I mean, I went like bodies in the bathroom with my homies and shit like that, but nothing as brutal as Mike, that's for sure.
So was there a turning point in your life, maybe a challenge or a moment of clarity that made you commit fully to the path of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? Because you're very competitive.
Honestly, just the thought of having to work a job and have to go to work every day, because jiu-jitsu is not a job to me. It's something I love. So every time I do it, I'm not working at all. Anytime I teach a class, I'm not working. It's what I love. So that's kind of why I chose it.
Yeah, that's actually really huge, man. People ask me sometimes like whether I like my job, and I'm just kind of like, what kind of question is that? Who likes their job? I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know anybody that really likes their job. I mean, very few people do. So you are blessed with that. And I wanted to ask you, how has jiu-jitsu impacted your life outside the gym, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually?
I just feel like I'm super calm. So every time I go train, I get all my energy out. So anytime I'm like dealing with someone at the store who's like being annoying, I'm just kind of like, it is what it is, you know? I get cut off in traffic. I'm like, it is what it is. I'm pretty calm guy because of jiu-jitsu, I think. So
Yeah. And Mike, I want to ask you, man, early on, I didn't ask you this last time. I think last time we asked a question about like, if you could bring anyone back, who would you train with or who would you roll against or something like that? It was a question like that, but talk to me about your early training days. Who are some of the key mentors or people that helped sharpen your tools when it comes to the mats?
Wow. I got pretty fortunate. There was a lot of guys, a lot of wrestlers, I could say, when I first started, influenced my grappling for sure. So there was a guy named Lenny Lovato. He was state champion. His cousin, this guy from Montana named Derek Azure. He really taught me that if I learned jujitsu, I'd be a lot more dangerous than just primarily wrestling, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I would watch this guy come in, and he was doing jujitsu, like submitting these guys that were super high level wrestlers, and I was like, man, that's impressive. So I'd say him and Ray Yee. He runs, I think it was Albuquerque Kickboxing at the time. He gave me the chance to teach and like really open my eyes to martial arts. So that all them played a huge fact in where I'm at today for sure.
Yeah. What about you, Juno?
early on, my uncle, obviously, my first coach, Barata, he's at Gracie Baja back then. Now he has his own gym, Smart Jits. After that, Carlo Lopez. He was he gave me my yellow belt all the way up to my green belt. But the biggest one is probably Cabrina out here in LA. I'd say he probably shaped my game the most for sure. And then Keenan, I was at Keenan's for a while, but I'd say Andres Brunovsky. He probably showed me a lot of stuff. He gave me a lot of insight on how to like compete and stuff like that. So,
Right. So when are you planning on competing next? I know we just came back from Long Beach, the world's Long Beach. What's your next plan over the horizon?
I think we're all going to be doing American Nationals. Me, Mike, Nate, my brothers, AJ and Jesse. So that should be fun. Little crew going out there to American Nationals in Las Vegas.
Nice. When's that happening?
June 24th to the 26th, or 26th to the 28th, or something like that.
Big time.
So are you guys planning on cutting any weight, or are you just going to go in at where you're at?
I'm gonna cut some weight. I got a little overweight recently, so I gotta shed some pounds, but I could do it. So
Where you at right now?
oh geez, right now I'm like 185.
Oh, what a fat ass.
I know.
No, dude, 185. I wish I was 185 still. What about you, Juno?
I think I might cut to 141. I'm like sitting right at like 150 right now. So like a 9-pound cut. It's not too bad.
Okay.
We'll see though. I might stay at feather though.
That's fair. That's fair. Have you guys ever plateaued, like mentally or physically, where you questioned on whether or not you were going to continue? If so, how did you push through that? Who wants to take that one?
You could take that, Juno.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of times in training where you just like get beat up like for a week in a row. You just say, man, don't feel like I'm getting better, but you just got to keep going. Because you don't realize that when you're training with all these guys, you see them every single day. So you don't realize that they're getting better as you're getting better. So that you don't see your growth as much. But once you kind of step back and just keep going, you'll get out of that funk.
Absolutely.
Have you guys ever taken like a long break before and tried to come back and had some problems with that?
I did. I took I think 2 years off because I hit a plateau. I felt that it was like that monumental moment you reach where it's like, is this something that I'm doing for the right reasons or am I just, being selfish? Right. So, yeah.
Yeah, Mike, we talked last time, man, and it sounds like you've had life like just hit you in the face before.
Yeah.
And like like failed marriages and or a failed marriage and just going through those emotions and everything like that. Whereas Juno kind of was brought up in jiu-jitsu and has kind of lived his life through that way. But when life hits you, man, jiu-jitsu has always been there for me, as far as keeping me in the middle, somewhere in the middle there, and keeping me mentally exhausted enough to where I'm not doing stupid shit. But how do you personally define the difference between a belt rank and a real level of maturity on the mats? Who wants that one?
Go ahead, Juno.
I'm sure you have a lot of students and stuff, right? And you have like, because I'm going to tell you right now, like I've, especially early on, like in 2008, 2009, 2010, when I first started, there were guys that were high ranking but were completely immature. Like guys that would just blow your knees out, blow your shoulder out, use you as a grappling dummy, and there's just no maturity there. But what would you?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the belt doesn't really say who you are as a person,
Right.
You could be a black belt, but be a white belt as a person. So, I mean, it's just about the person. I feel like belts don't really matter. Like, I could be a white belt and still be as good as I am now, But I feel like jiu-jitsu, if you learn it from the right person, they also teach you how to be a man as well. And some people don't have that. They just kind of go into the room, they just kind of brawl it out. And they're not really trying to, like, get better as a person. So, I mean,
you guys have
that's
probably,
what it is.
you guys have probably had people walk into the gym before and actually like, maybe wearing a purple belt or a blue belt or whatever, but then they start destroying everybody, right? And then you have to kind of like, hey, like tone it down. And have you guys dealt with that before?
I have. Not very often. Usually everyone who comes in is very respectful, and nice, but we've had small instances. I had, someone visiting from out of town and, with Nate, they were kind of going at it with Nate. And, we kind of had a little situation where I had to, tune this guy up for not being respectful.
What happened? What happened? Is that the guy you put in a triangle?
Yeah, it wasn't even that. It was like I like jumped off the wall and caught him in like a choke. It was crazy. He came in, he was like already telling me, oh, I'm an MMA fighter and blah, blah, blah. And I said, hey, that's fine. Come on in. And I'm very welcoming for people who train with us know that I teach my guys when someone comes in, we don't go hard. We match their speed. We try to like be there. But, anyway, he was kind of going hard on everybody. And Nate at the time was a white belt. So he was kind of just getting his like the feel for jiu-jitsu. And they just kind of started going off. And as soon as I saw him throw a punch, I was like, all right, that's it. Because people who know me, like I'm very caring, but at the same time, like I'll definitely stand up for what's right. Like, if you come into the gym and you try to disrespect, it can go beyond what just competition jiu-jitsu can be for myself. So, but at the same time, it's, I teach an art and I'll try to be as professional as possible, but there are boundaries that if you cross, then there's actions that will be taken for sure.
Definitely.
Now, do you think that you've kind of learned over the years on like how to read people a little bit better since you've had instances like that?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And usually with them, I try to kill people with kindness, especially if they're over aggressive, right? Mm-hmm. Because at the end of the day, no matter how hard they're going, if my jiu-jitsu is good, then I know that there's really not much they can do. No matter how angry they are, how many fights they've had, it means nothing, So I try to, be nice and calm and cool them down and try to see that, hey, if you just slow down, everything will make sense. So,
yeah. Juno, I don't want to miss this opportunity because you're visiting us from the land of enchantment.
Oh yeah.
You always like freaking dominate me. Like when like whenever you're on the mat and you let me know you're from New Mexico, like you call it out like NM. Like, no, I'm just kidding. No, but like so tell me something about you that most people don't know about.
In like what aspect? Just like anything?
So last time we were here, man, we learned that Mike got shot when he was 12. Running away from some gangbangers. And then I think Mike, like receptively, you had gotten some feedback from people that didn't know certain things about you.
Yeah.
I haven't had a chance to really get to know Juno that much. I mean, I have, but I haven't. You've been gone quite a bit. So what about you is something that most people don't know about?
Fuck. That's a hard one. I mean, I'm a super kind guy. Like anytime I beat someone like in a tournament, I always feel like super bad. Like I just feel like I don't know how to explain it. I just feel bad for the person I just beat because I know how it is to feel that way. So I don't think people see that part of me,
Right.
like how I feel inside when I beat someone. I'm like, oh man.
Are you like super celebratory, like after you destroy someone, or are you like?
It depends.
You just kind of just get up quietly.
Sometimes I just get up quietly. It depends on how I win. If I like submit the guy, I'm getting up.
And it depends on their moxie.
Yeah, for sure. And if they're doing like some dirty stuff during the match, and I'm definitely gonna little rub it in their face a little bit once it's over. But it's all love, you know.
Or if they're a rival.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
That always feels good.
You got rivals, huh?
I mean, just guys that you've fought in before. They maybe beat you, you beat them. There's been a close match, and you guys just kind of meet up again. You got to go at it. But I mean, I'm just a really nice guy at the end of the day. I think people see me, they kind of think I'm like an aggro kind of guy. I'm kind of like, I don't really seem like approachable to some people, but I'm actually a really nice guy.
I think you're a nice guy.
Yeah, once you get to know me, you see that part of me. But like,
I don't even
first,
I don't even have to get to know you. Like, I just feel like you just seem like a nice guy. Like,
Thanks, man.
even if I don't know you, like you're always smiling and shit, and like
I
you're
try
always,
to.
Yeah, you're very humble guy too. Very humble. Do you think that your personality is kind of your former training partners, your former coaches have kind of rubbed off on you, like with your personality and stuff, or just is that kind of just how you have always been?
No, I think I get my personality from my family, like Mike, my dad, my brothers.
Yeah.
We're all kind of like not the same person, but we all kind of speak the same, act the same.
Same characteristics.
Yeah, for sure.
So when you're dealing with ego, because you guys are nice guys, but when you are dealing with ego, what's your approach to dealing with that in yourself and in dealing with others in a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu setting?
I think if someone comes in and they're going really hard, sometimes you have to just kind of let them know who's the boss, if you will, right? But
Yeah,
just
yeah.
strictly using technique, right? Showing
Yeah.
them that like there's nothing you can do, right, that can save you from, I don't care how, like I said, I don't care how mad you are, how angry you are, there's nothing you can do. So you kind of like, I don't want to say beat them into submission, but that's kind of like the goal, right? You know, you're going to come in, you're going to have an attitude, then, you know, I could nicely beat you into submission. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I like to always say that if you are at a high level, you can always bump down to a lower level.
Mhm.
But if you're at a low level, you can't bump up to a higher level without getting yourself or someone else hurt. And so and like in the law enforcement side of things and military side of things, that's how I've always seen things is you're expected to be better than everyone else and then kind of train down to people enough to where you're bringing them up with you, not just completely destroying them. Did you say
Yeah.
that? Did you say it's pretty accurate?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I also notice too, you can judge people by their personality. Cause I always tell my students, like, your personality is an indicator of how your jujitsu is, if that makes sense. Someone's a nice guy, they're gonna be really good at jujitsu and they're gonna like be caring, right? Where a guy who's, you know, like aggro, right? You're gonna tell right away if they walk in, they got that like bro style attitude, they're gonna have like that bro style jujitsu as well, you know? So I think that's something I try to look out for too. If someone has a weird personality or something, I already know like, oh, this guy's going to try to go hard, or I know not to put him with new students or something.
Right.
I'll keep it with the higher belts and stuff. So.
So okay, because I'm gonna lie. When I first came to your gym, you were concerned about me. I knew you were.
Yeah.
I knew you were because you were. I noticed you watching me because I came in as a purple belt, unknown.
Yeah.
But I get it. I understand why. Like I understand why you would be concerned. Would you say that's pretty accurate? Like for most like higher belts that come in for the first time, you're a little bit apprehensive and then you kind of back out from that.
Well, what I worry about is the safety of my students, you know,
Right.
because a lot of times, a lot of these people are, you know, they're not competitors.
Right.
You know, my competitor base is super small. So for someone to come in who's trying to learn and someone comes in visiting and they're like, oh, another blue belt, right? And they
Right.
boom, hurt this guy. He's got to go to work. He's got to lift his child, right? He's got things to do. So my thing is I'm always worried about my students. You know,
Right.
that's why I'll always, all right, let me see how this guy does. And then we'll go through, you know, because you got to have some type of empathy. You know, there's levels to jiu-jitsu. There's high level competitors and there's your everyday hobbyists. And the balance in between there is just finding, you know, the common ground with technique or using more strength, right? And just getting it out, you know? So
Yeah, no, I completely understand. I've been to like so many different gyms in my time unwillingly because I've moved so much that sometimes like we're literally walking in strangers, we don't know each other, so it's important for you to protect your students. They got to go to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
All of them do. Nobody's really a professional fighter, and it's like, that's the most important part, like you just mentioned. And Juno, I don't want to leave you out of this conversation, man, but I want to get into some trending topics with the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu culture and get your young self and your opinions on this, because it seems like today's influencer side of things in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. What's your take on the growing social media influencer side of the sport?
I think it's cool, but I mean, I think you got to be careful on who you follow. Obviously, there's guys who just kind of put out videos
For clicks,
right?
right?
You don't really know if that works or not. So obviously, go look at what they've done in like competition, and then go from there. Some people just kind of post videos and they're just like bullshit videos. I'm just like, bro, what is this? Like some of my students, or like some people I give like privates to, they'll like show me a video. I'm like, bro, please don't ever do that or ever show me that again, ever.
Yeah.
So it's a nightmare. But if you follow the right people, then yeah, I think it's legit for sure.
Do you know some of the people that you follow that you would recommend who are authentic?
There's this guy, John Thomas. I follow a lot of his videos online, and he hasn't really even competed. He's just very knowledgeable of the game, and he's been around a lot of people who are really good, like Espen Mathisen, Sebastian Serpo, those kind of guys. But he's very good. I watch a lot of Cabrina videos still to this day. Andres Brunowski, I've mentioned him earlier, but Keenan, all those guys, all the guys who have done stuff, I'll watch their videos. I know they've proven it. They've proven what they know, and it actually works.
Yeah. Mike, what's your take on it with the influencer side of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu?
I mean, I like it. I just think sometimes it puts like a false narrative where people, you see these like influencers and they're getting high up in belts and you're like, dang, they haven't been training that long, and you wonder, are they training just private lessons, but they're getting promoted, right? Are they putting in the hard work like everybody else? I mean, there are levels, but I think at the end of the day, like as long as everyone's learning jiu-jitsu, it's positive for everybody regardless. I may not always agree with certain stuff, but you take what you want, if it works for you, it does. If not, just don't use it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I want to ask you guys too, and it's kind of a personal question that I have for myself, because like for me, like I really think wrestling is an extremely important base when it comes to grappling. And like I've always kind of prided myself in being able to hold positions and transition over submissions.
Yeah.
But is that kind of the wrong take? Or is that or is that just a way? It's not the way, but it's a way to look at it conceptually.
It's a good way to get a base. Like I think wrestling is very important in jiu-jitsu in all aspects of scrambling, being able to stay on top and all that stuff. So, and plus you need to secure a position before you get a submission. Obviously there's like flying triangles, flying armors that you can hit, but mainly you're going to try to get to a dominant position, hold it, control it, get inside position, then try to finish the match.
Right. And I always feel like pressure is my thing too. Like, but I also do train not just for sport, but I train for like real life too. So like it's
sure.
like I want to make sure that I can hold and I can pressure and I can take fight away and deplenish energy. But is that just a way, or is it the way, or what are your thoughts on that, Mike?
Well, if you think about it, right, wrestling is a really good foundation, right? Because you're starting on your feet. Makes sense?
Yeah.
So in the instance you want to protect yourself, how many guys are going to pull guard in the street? Right. You have to protect yourself. So
Nobody.
If you're super good, you gotta know how to wrestle, especially to add it in, because at the end of the day, you never know who you're going to run into. You could be a jiu-jitsu black belt of, a bunch of years and you're super good. And you run across a guy who wrestled in high school, state champion. You might not be able to take him down.
Yeah.
But he could take you down. And in the street, there's no mats there. You can't, you pulled my finger or you poked me in the eye. All that is now out the window.
Right.
Headbutts, everything. The danger goes up. So to know wrestling, jiu-jitsu, that makes you just way more deadly, because you can dictate if it goes to the ground or not, right?
Yeah.
Then if it hits the ground, you have the option to attack submissions. So wrestling is a very good base to start, I think.
I guess for me, sometimes people ask me what my opinions and my pieces of advice are. Like, I don't feel like I'm worthy enough to like give advice and things like that. So I'm just like, that's a personal question for me, asking you like your thoughts on it, because It's the way that I conceptualize things, I guess, is like pressure and like positioning and transitioning, and then the stupid easy submissions are going to present themselves to me.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? So that's kind of why I wanted to ask that question. But the age old question, man, gi versus no gi. Yeah, both. I agree, right?
I used to love no gi when I started. I started no gi, and then I started getting choked out all the time in the gi, and then it changed my whole perspective. Now I don't even. I do not like no gi. Will I do it? Yeah, but I'm not a big fan. Do I love it? It's still jujitsu, no
Right.
matter what, right? It's still,
Right.
you know, wrestling, no gi jujitsu, sambo. As long as you can, you know,
Yeah.
still roll and hunt the submission, I'm all for it, regardless. So
Yeah. Juno, do you think that one has more depth?
Oh yeah, the gi for sure. There's so many more grips, more variables, especially from the guard. Like in no gi, you want to be on top, 100%. In the gi, you want to be on bottom.
Yeah.
So it's just different. But yeah, the gi is way deeper, way more stuff to like deal with for sure.
yeah.
And I notice even with myself, like sometimes when I'm sizing people up, in real life, I'm looking for a belt, a leather belt around the waist,
Oh yeah.
because that simulates a lot right there for me to grab a hold of.
A lot of parents come in and they say, "Oh, well, you only do the uniform." I say, "Yeah," and they say, "Oh no, we don't want to do it. Then we want no gi because we want it for self defense." And that boggles my mind because I'm like, well, every fight I've been into my entire life, I was wearing clothes.
Right.
Literally, I don't think I've ever fought someone unless I'm showering and someone comes in and they're naked too, and we have to start fighting. Then maybe for myself that'll come in handy. But until then, I mean, I mean, everything you wear could be, you know, especially if you're used to the grips. It's crazy,
Yeah, for sure.
you know. So
You know, it's crazy for me because I have a real life story about that. And you know, you want things to be instinctual when they happen. Like I should be like 2 to 3 beers into something, feeling a little bit of a buzz, but not completely drunk, and be able to be reactionary.
Yeah.
And I actually had that happen to me once where a guy tried to jump in on a friend of mine, and she tried to blow past me. Like I grabbed a hold of him, simply just judo threw him to the ground, and then naturally, without even thinking about it, thumb inside of the polo shirt, the reinforced collar of that polo shirt,
Oh yeah.
cross collar choke. And it was like, and afterwards, like all my other friends they were calling me a trunk monkey because I came out of nowhere, and they're like, "Oh, how'd you do that? It was so instinctual." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's training, man. That's how you want it to happen. That's how you want it to go down."
Muscle memory.
Yeah.
well, and at the end of the day, a lot of us train jujitsu because we do tournaments and it's fun to do. But at the end of the day, it's, you know, I will use jujitsu to protect myself or my loved ones at any moment if I have to. I mean, and think of all the rules there is in the sport of jujitsu are all taken away. It makes jujitsu very deadly,
Yeah.
very deadly because you can
You can end it quick.
you could end it. The options are endless.
Especially because we train full blast. It's hard to train any other martial art full blast without major injuries. Like if you train stand up full blast, you're gonna go home with headaches.
Right.
We can go into jujitsu train full blast every single day, and we'll be fine. So we get to train at like a higher intensity. So when it actually goes down, we're gonna be sharp.
And the good thing about jujitsu that a lot of people don't realize is versus like, let's say striking or something, is there is no puncher's chance in jujitsu, right?
Right.
You can train a little boxing or have Muay Thai, but if let's say the guy you're fighting is a decent street fighter and he's got some hands and you're going to get punched in a fight, right? But if you never train jujitsu and you fight someone who knows jujitsu, you ain't going to get lucky and be like, "Oh, I hit a sweep," or there's no way.
No.
There's no way. So far off the charts.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you know, and I definitely agree with that. You're right. I mean, you could take a swing and get a lucky hit, but I mean, it's hard to do that in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu if you can't even put yourself in position to win.
You can't bridge, you can't hip escape. You don't know how to deal with grips. Like there's so much that goes into jujitsu, especially with the uniform, right? That you're light years ahead of a normal white belt who's not even a white belt yet, right? They're not even taking that step to be a white belt, right? So
Yeah.
scary.
I want to ask you guys, man, there's been some controversy about allowing heel hooks and leg locks with lower belts in their divisions for some of these tournaments. What's your guys' stance on that?
I'll let you take it.
I don't really know. I mean, I think It's hard. I definitely don't think whites or blue belts should be doing it. But I mean, like purple belt, you're starting to get like elite level. I think
Well.
purple belts could do it, but it just depends on what gym you're at. Cause like our gym, we don't really teach that much ankle. So we don't really do much nogi at Mike's gym, you know. So it's like if our guys go out there to go compete and all these other guys are doing that, then our guys are gonna be behind. But I mean, they just gotta be universal.
Right.
You gotta know what tournaments we're gonna do. Gotta train to that rule set.
Exactly.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on that, Mike?
I mean, I think it's good. It keeps everyone safe, but I think you should still teach your students. So if they ever, because like I said, not everything is always going to be in the street. I mean, in the arena, right, or on the mats. So you got to almost prepare your students for everything in a way, but no, okay, well, this is what you can and can't do, right? But if you have to, you can use this, right?
Mhm.
So those are things I think you should go over with them. But safety is always an issue too, right? Because sometimes people don't know how hard to go.
Exactly.
But that's why you have to teach them and say, hey, you can't do this, but this is how you do it, or you escape, and you know.
Yeah.
So
Especially because if you start teaching white belts how to heel hook, and they're going to open mat somewhere else, and this other white belt doesn't know how to heel hook, and he obliterates his knee, now that's a nightmare.
Yeah.
and then like I said, a lot of these people are hobbyists, so they're not trying to, and then they have to go to work, and it's just and they're not going to train jiu-jitsu probably anymore. They're going to be done. They're going to say, my wife's not going to let me train, so or whoever.
Yeah, I want to kind of echo like off of what you're saying because I have personally trained at so many different gyms and I've seen like the Wild West and I've seen controlled competition training as well. And uh, for a lot of folks out there, a lot of white belts out there, some of them are so untamed, they're like a wild horse.
Yeah,
For sure.
And you have to really be careful with that. You have to really watch that. And like you said, you have to protect your own students out there. So when you hit the mat for training or competition, do you think there's a switch in your head that flips with your overall mindset? Like when you guys get into competition mode here, you're getting ready to go to Vegas to go compete. Is there something when you hit the mat that's a personal mindset that you like to take in?
I just like to be like, I guess how they call it, flow state. I just try to clear my head, just control my breathing, just stay calm, and I'm gonna go out there and my body's gonna do what it does.
I guess everybody's a little bit different. We talked about that last time, didn't we? So outside of the technique, what do you try to instill in your students or some of the younger guys that are in at your school? What's some of the, I guess, personality, character traits that you try to instill in some of the kids that you have?
grit.
How to face adversity?
Yeah, just like have the dog.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they say you can't teach that, but we've had a lot of people walk into our gym and I've seen complete changes in them. Like I'm talking, it's just such an amazing thing. So I think teaching people how to have grit, adversity, like just
Never give up.
yeah, we're known to go pretty hard at our gym. Like we have really tough guys. So you either pick it up and run with it or you end up leaving. So
Yeah. No, I've seen a lot of guys grow over the years, man. I've seen guys come in as soft as pillows and now they're as tough as nails.
yeah,
sure.
absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
I'm like, and here I am just getting older year after year. These guys are in their 30s,
Yeah.
like getting ready to reach their peak, So I want to take a pause right now and see if I can switch this screen over because I want to do a couple of commentaries
Sure.
with this. I don't know what this is, but let's just see with this one here.
No kids were hurt on this video.
That's the wrestler right there.
We got
I thought I had him. All I know is form tackling.
You just try to tackle, but he's like,
But his
That dude
technique
felt like a
started
tank.
to take over. I was the most tired I've ever been in my life.
yeah, technique.
At this point, I'm playing football. I was done after this, but the crowd hyped me into another round. So we went again, and I got cooked.
Yeah, that's technique right there, regardless.
Love, though.
It's a humbling experience when you're, never been in contact with a sport like that, wrestling or jiu-jitsu or judo, and you face even a woman or a little kid and they whoop your ass. And you're like, damn, I just got my ass beat by a 13-year-old. I mean, that never happened to me, but I've seen it happen.
I've been the 13-year-old. It's been pretty nice.
Yeah. That is true.
So watch this one here. This is do you guys know Wes Watson?
Oh, God, I think I've seen this. This guy's a real douche.
Did his jujitsu on him, then the guy's gonna come back and duct tape his family, okay? You don't wanna fuck with the wrong people. And the wrong people out here in the world are not pro fighters. You guys need to wake up. These are very big time squares. Pro fighters are the epitome of squares. They're like, come in the ring and I'll fight you. The people I grew up with and went to prison with, they don't give a fuck about a ring. They don't give a fuck if they're on camera. They don't give a fuck if they have to fucking live the rest of their life in prison. You will not beat them. They will not take a loss. You guys live in a fantasy world where pro fighters aren't the biggest squares on the planet. UFC fighting is gay. Like all that shit, like MMA fighting and all that shit is for people who never really were in fights. Like they never whooped ass their whole life. So they're always like, I'm going to train and fight. Like, I've always just handled shit.
So I'm convinced that a lot of these guys, because this guy here is part of a group of influencers that just say shit.
Yeah.
They just say things. They put it out there, and they don't care if it even makes sense or if it's even correct.
Deep down, that guy's a pussy, bro.
And,
100%.
And, oh, he totally is. Like, I don't care if he's been to prison or not. But
the thing is, how are you going to say professional fighters? That's what they do. And a lot of those guys who are professional fighters could also take it that same distance. Yeah. Not only, and think about this, they may have a gang.
right,
These guys that train jujitsu, we have all our teammates train.
right,
We have friends who train. We technically are a gang,
right.
right? Like you want to battle a bunch of guys who've been to prison. No, if you've been to prison, that's fine. But it's having that mentality of, oh, just because I went to prison, I've been in a few fist fights, that makes me super hardened and tough. That don't make you shit.
Yeah.
Training breaks you down, builds you up, teaches you how to be losing every day and come back. This guy don't know shit.
That guy has an ego.
I would actually like to fight this guy bare knuckle at any moment. So if I run into him, please.
About fighting.
Anytime.
Because I always just extinguished the problem, however I had to. So the point is like, that's for people who like never could really fight. They had to go learn to fight. I mean, people who just handle business, they don't have to learn to fight. There's a difference between fighters and violent people. You should really stay away from violent people because it doesn't matter how good you are at fighting when they want to take it to the level. They'll take you out. And so there's a huge difference here. You guys have it all misconstrued. Fighting is some weird sport shit that is all these people do, and it has nothing to do with violence because a violent person will end your life. And this is the thing. You guys need to quit thinking that UFC people are going to be able to fuck around with violent motherfuckers because a violent motherfucker won't lose. He won't take it. And you'll be like, wait, put the gloves on. And he's not going to hear it. And it's going to be a problem for you.
This guy has never trained a day in his life. He would be humbled.
Why are you talking about gloves? If a professional fighter goes outside with you and there is no gloves, you're gonna go bare knuckle.
Yeah, meet Nick Diaz out in the street.
Bro.
He's not gonna say put on the gloves. Someone's gonna bare knuckle fight you, or they might even pull out a gun and shoot you too.
He would destroy you.
There's still people who cause violence. Elbowing someone's face with technique is violence. You know what I'm saying? Like suplexing someone on their head is violence.
Yeah, this guy sounds scared. Like if Mike tried to fight him, he'd probably pull out a gun and try to shoot.
Well, usually though, when that's like what they call peacocking, right? Where someone tries to be like, say stuff and be real brash. Those people are the softest people around. You know, people who talk shit the loudest usually are wimps, right? So people who are quiet and humble are the people you want to worry about, you know, because they got nothing to prove.
No doubt. So I'll show you this next one here. I don't know if you guys seen this one or not.
This guy used Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to defend his daughter from aggressor. Imagine if he didn't know how to fight.
Yes, this is my dad. This is my dad. They're fighting right now. My dad I'm 19.
Holding position. Yeah. Transitioning.
I'm recording.
Think about it.
Just control.
That was really nice of him, what he did. He could have turned that situation extremely violent. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if that guy didn't train, he'd probably start throwing punches, probably knock that guy out, maybe kill him somehow,
yeah.
and then he goes to prison. But no, he controlled the situation. His family's safe. He's safe. That guy's safe.
I want to show you
Works
this.
out.
Show you this one right here too. All right. This guy trains at the gym. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Here, what's show?
What's he got? Break my arm. You're getting charges from.
This guy can't pull his arm back.
Gassed out. He told him, look at it, fully depleted of all nutrients.
Good job.
No, I fucking been supposed to be.
Why?
Because I own the fucking building.
Okay. I thought I recognized you.
We're getting evicted now.
Really, just relaxing on top, just kind of hanging out there. What do you guys think of that?
That's actually kind of funny.
I don't think either of those guys trained, to be honest.
Yeah.
No, I mean, for the big guy actually did a pretty.
Yeah, he was had him subdued, but.
So this one here, I got into some trouble with online because if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I want you guys to watch this, and I want you to tell me what you honestly think about this. This person posts a lot, and I'm not saying they don't know what they're doing, but I think there's a difference between like when someone is posting something because they want clicks versus they're posting something because they believe it really works. So tell me what you think about this.
If someone grabs you like this, step to parallel with him. Now bring your arm straight above your head and back. And the key is to grip just above the elbow joint, palm to palm, to break that arm. And if you don't have the angle to go for this, it means his elbow is perfectly positioned for you to pull it the opposite way. Now hyperextend the elbow for the break. Stay safe out there.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
I could see it working, but your timing would have to be so perfect. And that's like just basic like jiu-jitsu old school fundamentals, if I'm not mistaken, right? Like,
so this is my take on this right here, and you guys are way more advanced than I am, but to me, like if you get to this spot right here and you go to do this like loop-de-loop thing under stress and anxiety, you've got like 0.3 seconds before you eat a fist from this other arm that's just hanging there.
You're 100% right. It's almost like she's doing it like it's like a sport. Like, right. He's not going to punch me, right? These are things that you want to close the distance as close to him as possible.
Right here.
If he has your hair, yeah. Or look at his head and her face. There's a headbutt.
Oh, exactly.
5-10 inches away.
Yeah.
I mean,
and now he has an underhook. So and now he's in a body hugger, and suplexer.
He can pull her closer. Yeah, not to say that like she's not showing anything that could work, but I mean that's nothing that I would show for self-defense. That's
especially to a woman.
Yeah. I mean, if someone grabs your hair like that, you would want to get as close to them as possible. You don't want them pulling your hair out or controlling you. You'd want to be to where they can't yank you. You'd want to be body locking them or to their back, especially if you know jiu-jitsu. That's where you'd want to be. That's going to be the spot where you can put them to sleep.
You know, and another thing too is like when you're teaching like self-defense and things like that, you want to get people used to getting loud and yelling. Because if you're like in a dark alley or around the corner or something, like, you want to wake up the neighborhood. Like you don't want to quietly wrap your arm around somebody else's, a much bigger man's arm, and think that you're going to give them some half-ass like Kimura. So I made a comment that this was not real. And like literally there was probably 300 comments back to me saying that I was just an asshole and I don't know what I'm talking about. And I'm just like, come on, man. I'm not going to let you do that to my arm.
Yeah.
I'm going to underhook you and I'm going to throw you and slam you on the ground.
And they're not just going to grab your hair. If someone actually wants to take you, they're going to wrap their arms around your body. Yeah. Try to slam you, take you somewhere.
Or pull you backward. They're going to grab here and let you stand up. They're going to grab you and yank you to the floor and knock you off balance. Like I said, not to say that it's not something that could work, but the cleanest thing about that video was the elbow. And the elbow you'd want to throw from just like a Thai boxing position.
Yeah.
You know, it is what it is.
Yeah, and that was and that was my kind of my point to that was, but of course all these other people was, you know, making these comments on it or whatever. So okay, cool. So I'm glad you guys kind of agree with me on that one.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I just want to know what you guys think about these new little boot camps that are popping up. That's like it's like those Navy SEAL like.
Right up over there. Fuck you all. Sick of this shit. Spent the fucking hour. You guys don't want to listen. Fine. Turn around. You don't want to listen. Oh, don't worry. I won't forget you. Right over here. You got this. You got it. Just count the five. We got
These guys aren't soldiers or anything. They're just doing this.
You guys haven't seen this?
No.
Never.
You guys haven't seen this?
No.
This looks really fucking stupid.
It does. It's pissing me off.
This is the new craze. They've got these fucking like Navy SEAL guys, special forces guys, and what they'll do is they'll make up these little fake boot camps. And there's some here in the Inland Empire. And I've argued with people about it because I think this is bullshit. Like, and so you've got these guys that never served in the military, never have done anything tough in their life, and what they'll do is they'll pay these like former military people to put them through a makeshift mock-up boot, like Navy SEAL training boot camp or some shit like that, and they'll just like degrade them the whole time, and they pay like $10,000 to do this. And
$1,000,
dude, they pay big money for this shit.
We can do this,
dude. And so anyway, so it's like completely degrading. The thing is, there's a difference because I have a friend who went through one in Florida, But the one that he went through was religious based.
Okay.
And so what they do is they put you in teams and you're expected to come together as a team to overcome obstacles. These things here, which I'll show you, they literally just like haze them.
Southern California weather. You told your family I'm going to sunny Southern California. Look what happened. Fuck the people in your life that don't need to be there. Even if it's your father or your mother. Fuck them. You don't need them. You got us. You don't fucking need them anymore.
That's crazy.
Hold on. I mean, these guys are got to be the most, not even beta, like Charlie Males. And these are guys that just, like, why would you pay for this?
Bro, go lift weights or go to a jiu-jitsu gym or fuck it, go learn karate.
I guarantee you take these guys who just got done with this, put them in a jits class, they can't even last 2 rounds.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, if I met this guy face to face, I would tell him that this is bullshit. This is ridiculous. And I've actually gotten into it with people before about it, people that defend this kind of stuff. And I'm like, no, this is
look,
absolutely stupid.
at the end of the day, you can spend your money doing whatever you like, but that's supposed to make you an alpha? That's going to make you a douche.
I got you another one right here. Look at this.
You don't fucking deserve to be here. Fucking quit. You piece of shit. I want to be a better man. I want to be a better husband. I want to be a better father. I want to be a better, you fucking whiny piece of shit.
I mean, it's
None of you deserve to be here.
That's how I teach classes.
Back.
Dude, I mean, these people, I mean, I don't know if it's 10,000. I mean, people pay good money. I'll look it up, but people pay good money for this. And they will put themselves through this training for like a week or so.
Make you a real man.
Come out still a pussy.
You better move with a fucking purpose. Belly.
What?
Dude, look at that.
Feet.
You know, the sad thing is, I know guys that would probably take up this offer right here.
I mean, no offense to these guys, but bro, this is like the opposite of alpha. This is like beta male shit.
This is like them peeing and spitting on you and you paying them money.
Yeah, that's supposed to make you a man so you can go home and be a good family man and respectable. You're going to be a father after doing this shit, dude.
Bro, go to church, go to jits.
Exactly.
You're good.
You need Jesus in your life, guys.
This is what tells me that the human race has reached its apex.
Those guys are making a full-blown living driving Raptors and shit, doing this to people. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Back.
No.
Hurry up.
But look at the guys doing it, though. No,
Belly.
they're all like
Feet. Back. Get over
Have
here.
them on the podcast.
Where's you? You fucking slow fat
Like,
one.
what?
Get over here, fucking quitter.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I'm Joe.
Never heard of that
That's
shit.
funny.
Sit down.
Yeah.
Sit down right here.
Baby Chris.
You two are gonna share this fucking
This is crazy to me.
All of you start crawling. Start crawling. Yeah.
Start shrimping.
They're gonna crawl and suffer until you're done with that cookie. Till the both of you are done sharing
Start
that
my
fucking
own
cookie.
There's cookies.
The sad thing is that there's people that I know that think this is cool. Like, and they think that this would be cool to sign up for.
I'd rather go on a camping trip with my buddies, dude, to be honest.
Here you go.
Yeah. Well, so they do a little jiu-jitsu.
I never experienced that. Looks like it, yeah. So, I mean,
He just said I never experienced it.
did he really say that?
Yeah. Oh, look at the instructors, bro. They probably beat the hell out
Dude,
of
they're
those guys.
they're just destroying them.
Oh, is that what they...
Yeah, those are the instructors beating these guys' ass.
Bitch and the beast. The bitch is the inner critic. The beast is the advocate. The advocate supports you, roots you on, cheers for you. But the critic, your inner bitch, is always doubting you and telling you that you can't and that you've done enough and to set lower goals and expectations of yourself. When I go into the gym every morning, I go to war with my body. I go to war with the weights. I go to war with my mindset, with that bitch voice in my head that says, put the weights down. You've done enough sets and reps. And I know you're like, damn, bro, that sounds intense.
Feels like they're making followers instead of leaders. But
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't that weird? And you know that happens here, like right out here in the Inland Empire. There's a place out there.
Maybe I'll check it out.
I don't know. I thought this one was funny, and this one's from.
I know this guy. I don't know him personally, but I know like his Instagram and shit.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but I'm not going to your 6 a.m. fucking jujitsu class. What are you, a fucking vampire?
You guys don't even
No. I sleep, bro. I got things that go on throughout the day.
6 a.m.'s for me, bro. Yeah, I'm sleeping.
I just thought that was funny.
Now, that guy's funny. I like his
Yeah.
videos. He's really cool, yeah. Shout
Oh,
out
here we
to that
go.
guy.
Here we go. This is what every dad needs to see. This right here. Every dad needs to can see this because this is right here.
Wait.
Somebody else. And when somebody just slaps your kid like that,
You know, I've seen another video where something like that happens.
Could you imagine?
Yeah, I don't.
Dude, what would you do if someone smacked your daughter like that?
It'd be over.
Right in front of you.
It'd be over.
Probably kill him.
Yeah.
Probably go to prison.
I'd be very upset, honestly. I wouldn't like what
That's why I appreciate the dads that actually, I shouldn't say dads, the moms too. Then the parents that just train. They don't just send their kid out there and yell stupid shit from the sidelines, but they actually know.
Yeah.
Like, does that annoy you ever? Like, whenever parents are yelling things that they really don't understand themselves?
Absolutely. Professor Lucas used to have a thing that said, if you want to coach your kid, you got to take some classes first. So if you've never trained jiu-jitsu, you can't sit here and say it because you don't know the hardships it takes to do jiu-jitsu, right? Just get up, get the kid off you. Well, the kid's been training a while. Your kid's not getting up.
Right.
It's his third class. He's got to be patient. You got to be encouraging to your child, right? Can't, oh, you should have just got up and tried. Okay, well then let me get on top of you and you get up and try.
I had a buddy like that whose kid would wrestle, and when he would yell at his kid, and the guy never wrestled before. And I'd tell him, like, you don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You're just screaming. You're not even saying anything.
I mean, having passion for your kid is good, but one thing, if they're out there and enduring it and going through the hardships, and you have to be supportive. You can't be a jerk. They're gonna not want to do it,
Exactly. All right, let me. Oh, I didn't know I could just do this. This is funny.
That's right.
Beginning.
You got some on your shirt.
That's right.
What do you want? I was just wondering what we did in math.
Well, that's funny. All those shots he's hitting that dude would do nothing but piss me off. I'm dead serious.
Legit.
There it is.
That last one was actually.
Yeah, that last one was the most legit thing he did.
It was. Yeah, actually, how to get up properly. Right?
That's some funny shit.
All right. Let me check out one more. Oh, I want to show you this one, and then this will be it. This will be it. Watch. Look, and I just want to get you guys' comment on this. Okay, I just want to think.
Okay, so you got pepper sprayed.
This is some type of law enforcement training, like for corrections or something. There's no sound on this one. Not even. I mean.
Yeah.
So have you guys been pepper sprayed before?
Never.
I accidentally pepper sprayed myself one time.
So I've been OC sprayed before, and involuntarily it does shut down. It does shut your eyes. So like when I went through my scenarios, I had to like hold my eye open like this, and then like use the baton, and you got to fight through it. You know what I mean? But in this case right here, like she just like, I mean that just looks really pathetic. Like she completely swung and she missed with the baton. Her hand hurts now from hitting the fucking pad.
Yeah, you're fired.
Like if this was real life, like you really would be just dead right now.
Yeah.
And I know there's no volume on this one, but this one here, they're like cheering her on and stuff. And that now she has to call for help, and she can't even. She's just losing all of her bearing, man.
Yeah.
But there's another police one that I think I have on here. It's similar to this one, and it's just like. I just want to take it back to the beginning though. Over here,
Like the guy overseeing it, dude.
exactly.
That's funny.
Look at that. Like he's an instructor.
Here, I'll show you how it's done. Really?
I mean, he's like 3 people, all in one set of clothing. I'm gonna be mean, but like, bro, like,
Where's the standard set?
this is what you put in front of your people? I don't know. This whole scenario just bothered me. I wish there was some actual sound on this one, but there's not. Sorry.
No, you're good. That's funny, bro.
All right. So, anyways, in closing, I'm gonna make sure I clean up all those videos and do them a little smoother next time, and that way not do it. Juno,
Yo.
before we round things out, man, what do you think
Of the pod?
of the pod, of being back in LA, your upcoming competition?
This pod is dope, bro. This room is sick. But being in LA is nice, man. It's always good to come back, train, teach, be with the guys out here. No, I miss all these guys out here, but gotta be back with my family right now. But it's been good, bro. Can't wait to compete. Haven't competed since February. Just kind of had some bad luck lately with being sick or injured. So yeah, I'm itching to get back out there.
Are you how long in town for?
Probably till Monday. Sunday, Monday.
I appreciate you stopping by, man, and let me give you a quick interview and everything. And hopefully, if down the road, man, you never know. Maybe Mike gets into a bigger spot. We'll set up a podcast studio in there, and we'll have everything set up. And
Yeah, that'd be dope. I was kind of nervous for this one, but no.
Why?
I don't know. Just never been on a pod. Never had a microphone in my face, cameras in my face.
You look good, man.
It's a little different.
You look good.
Yeah, I think it went well.
Do you have any messages for anyone that's listening to this that's part of your crew?
Just my brothers, man. I love my brothers. They're in it with me. We're trying to open up a gym out in New Mexico called Farallon American Jiu-Jitsu. So now my brothers, AJ and Jesse.
What's with the name?
The name? Farallon, it means high dwelling, or like steep cliffs. It's kind of a metaphor for jiu-jitsu, always climbing the cliff, trying to get higher, get better.
So is your gym open now or no?
No, still trying to talk to the investors and all that stuff, but the ball should get rolling pretty fast soon, hopefully.
So once you do get started, we'll talk about that next time.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure there's going to be a lot of things that you don't know that you're going to know.
Yeah, a lot of bumps in the road, I'm sure, to come, but got to overcome it.
Yeah. Well, you're in great hands with Magic Mike over here.
Oh yeah, definitely got a good mentor. Hell
yeah. What do you think, Mike?
I love it. I love everything. I mean, I love California. I have the gym has brought in nothing but great people, including yourself. You came in random, and everyone I've great friendships with. Having Juno always down is great because when he comes down, he always teaches. Everyone loves to learn from him. So it helps me out, and makes everybody better. Like I said, it's been a family thing for us our whole lives. My whole family trains.
Yeah.
All the way from my youngest niece all the way to my oldest nephew. So we always got it covered.
So yeah.
Yeah, man. No, I really appreciate both of you for letting me come into your gym and train. Like I said, I found you because I was picking up a pizza. I didn't know. I think you had just opened up. You didn't have a banner up yet even.
No.
So it was, things happen for a reason.
Absolutely.
Things happen for a reason. So one last question and we'll round it off here. But Juno, if you had to walk out for a super fight, what's your anthem?
Ooh, that's a hard one. Something Kid Cudi probably. I'm a big Kid Cudi fan. Probably,
Day and night.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That's a good one.
Seriously?
Or King Wizard.
I was just kidding.
I'm a little bit of a wizard myself.
Okay.
Or some by Drake. I'm a big Drake fan.
We got Magic Mike the Magician and we have Juno the Wizard.
Or Judini is what they like to call me.
Judini, that's right. They called you that last time.
A bit, yeah.
Gave you a shout out.
Shout out Nate. He just got his purple belt.
Oh yeah, he got his purple belt last night.
He's the boy.
What?
Yeah, he got his purple belt last night. Yeah.
He's like family.
Nice. I'm proud of him.
He's like a brother.
That's awesome.
He's like the sibling you never wanted, but you just like have.
Yeah, he just showed up.
Yeah, he just shows up and
the redheaded.
Yeah.
The redheaded sibling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, congrats, Nate. Good job, man. Shit. And Nate's a tough dude for sure.
Bro, Nate's going to be a savage. I got to get my licks now till he's banging with me soon, so.
Yeah, absolutely. He's going to be trouble. He is right now, actually. I mean,
yeah, he's already trouble.
I know.
I got to turn it up to kind of put it on him.
He's tough. What's your anthem, Mike? Super fight. You're walking out.
Jeez. Probably.
LMFAO.
No, maybe. No, probably maybe California Love by Tupac.
Oh yeah,
that's a good one. I like it. I like to claim California now as my own. So
yeah, dude, those old school riffs, man, they have never been replaced.
Never.
The kids today are listening to them.
Yeah,
damn right.
So all right, guys. Well, hey, I want to say thank you for joining me on the podcast, man. We're gonna have you back again. I hope you guys are willing to do it again.
Yeah, next time I'm here, for sure.
Clean up the videos a little bit, and we'll do some more of those. And if you guys see any videos, man, save them on your phones and shoot them to me when you're here, and we'll put together a playlist and do some commentary.
Let's go. I love it. Thanks for having us, man. Appreciate it. It's
you.
Always you always make us feel really welcome, and really appreciate it. Thanks for believing in our journey as well. So
and
yeah,
too easy, man. You guys are both like great guys, man. You guys definitely, I think you gain a lot more respect for people when you get on the mats and you have them whoop your ass. And so it's like, I look at people differently, man,
Oh yeah.
But anyways, hey, for everyone else out there, thanks for joining us. I hope you guys learned a little bit more about Juno, Judini, and Mike. So thank you for joining us. I appreciate you guys. As always, I want you to stay tuned, stay focused, and stay motivated. Warriors, fall out.